and Nia Jax. Okay, we'll go ahead and skip that part. But this is exactly why we love and respect women's wrestling here in LumberJillville. But I've collected your parts, and now it's time for the main event and bring you to life. You see, that magic cabinet key is still deep inside me. And if I create a strong enough electrical current that can course through my body and make contact with you, I can bring you to life. One pull of this lever, and we will get that electrical current that we need.
Mayor Aaron, what are you doing? Are you okay?
Hey, Co-Mayor Alexa. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, you made it just in time to see my creation come to life.
Don't you still have the magic cabinet key inside you? You can't bring anything to life in the cabinet without the key.
Yes, that's right. The key is still inside me. But can't you see? I don't need a magic cabinet because I am the magic. Do you hear that? It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
What is it?
Co-Mayor Alexa, may I present to you my creation. Jill-O-Ween.
You know the doctor was actually named Frankenstein. The monster was just known as Frankenstein's monster.
Shh! Hush up! Don't ruin this amazing moment. You see, I gathered all my spare AEW women's parts that I've been collecting over all these years, just wondering why I have them. And then it all made sense. I needed all those spare parts for this moment.
Did you seriously put Penelope Ford's chest on it? That wasn't a spare part.
Oh, what? Oh, freaking better. No. I used all the spare parts that I had.
How do we know it won't rip our limbs apart?
No, don't worry. Watch this. Hey, Jill-O-Ween, Mayor Aaron, Co-Mayor Alexa.
Mayor Aaron and Co-Mayor Alexa, good friends. I must protect them.
Okay. Okay, I've always wondered what it sounded like if we did a head swap on a live figure. We'll work on that. But see, Co-Mayor Alexa, she already loves us.
Why didn't you just bring a figure to life like Jade Cargill, or another badass woman's figure that could help us?
Huh? Aw, I didn't think of that. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now before we get started, I just want to remind you to please hit subscribe to become an official resident of LJV today and get a first look at all future women's wrestling figures like today. So I am super excited to review this WWE Basic Series 136 Xia Li. Not only because I'm a huge Xia Li fan, but because this basic looks freaking awesome. So I'm excited. Without further ado, let's dive in and take a closer look. Alright, so packaging here obviously looks great. I really do like the red and black theme we have with this basic style packaging, and I love the classiness of this blue stripe that goes down the side that has the series number. Obviously, we have the nice little first in the line detail there, and this is Xia's first figure. Now, I really wish her first figure was going to be an Elite because of how intricate her attire is, but this looks pretty freaking awesome, everybody, so we'll see how good they did here. Now, obviously, we have a nice open window with the Xia figure and then the image of the beautiful Xia Li right there. On the back here, she is classified as a technician. I love how they do that on the back of the basic boxes. We also have her signature moves, and then once again, an image of the stunning Xia Li in the rest of the series. So let's rip this open. The unboxing part is the quick part. Here she is. WWE Basic Series 136, Xia Li. This attire is from her main roster debut on the December 10th, 2021 edition of SmackDown in Los Angeles, California. On this night, Xia Li arrived to help Naomi fight off Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Natalya. Alright, so my first impressions of this figure, I mean, do y'all know how long it's been since I've gotten a women's basic figure that stands as perfectly as this one? I mean, I'm not even being funny. So many of the women's basic figures are unbalanced, uneven, and yeah, this one is just solid. I love it. But as far as the details go, I'm also blown away. So let's dive right into those, starting with that face scan, face sculpt, and hair sculpt. Alright, so as far as the face scan, face sculpt, and hair sculpt goes, this is a first in the line figure for Xia, obviously. So this is a new scan, a new sculpt. It's awesome, y'all. I mean, honestly, in person, it looks a lot better. I didn't think the images online necessarily looked bad, but I think they might have been a little bit off. But here, I absolutely love the scan and sculpt. I even love the emotion that it gives. She kind of has a scowl going on. I love the extra eye makeup they put around her eyes there. The lips are a pinkish red color, looks good. And the hair sculpt itself is unique to her, and I love it. I love that this long black ponytail has so much little intricate details in the sculpt. I just think it looks great. So, I mean, as far as the face scan, face sculpt, and hair sculpt goes, like, perfect in my opinion. Pretty darn close to it. Alright, so moving on down to the body sculpt and the attire, and I have to say that this figure keeps getting cooler and cooler the more that we investigate in on the details here. So, starting off with the body sculpt itself, they made excellent choices as far as their part choices go. And sometimes they do questionable jobs on the part choices for these women's basic figures, but here they did an excellent job imitating her real life physique. Very cool here, very muscular, it looks awesome, but not only that, y'all, they gave her a uniquely custom sculpted top, and we just don't see this in women's basics, at least since I've started the channel. We really don't see this very often, and we never see it with this much detail. I mean, look at the sculpted detail on this top. It is beautiful. It has a greenish teal base color that is metallic, which is a huge plus, and it has gold trim that is sculpted throughout, the little rivets sculpted on there. And then even the laces that go across the front are sculpted. And it looks really, really cool. It adds depth to that top and really makes it look like it has layers to it. And yeah, I can't say enough good about that top. The sculpting goes around the back, around her neck, and then around the back here also with the laces sculpted on right there. Moving on down, we have this plastic rubbery type unique piece here that is unique to her. It's kind of like the Sonya Deville piece that was on her basic, right? It's not the same, but it's kind of like that. And it is gold with green on the front and green on the back with a little dragon logo. It is metallic. And then we have these green knee pads with gold circles, and then these green boots and kick pads there that are custom to her with silver lettering. We have these green arm sleeves painted on with gold accents, gold details there. It even goes gold around the hand, and it is like a metallic gold, which looks excellent. Same thing over here. And then underneath this little plastic rubbery piece, we have like a combination of green, black tights underneath with gold trim that looks great. And then as far as tattoo detail here, we definitely get that. We have a little bit of a tattoo showing on the front upper shoulder. We have a little tattoo here on her right bicep. Turning it around here. Okay, don't see much. And then on the leg, we obviously have this tattoo design. So, I mean, y'all, they really went the extra mile on this body sculpt and this attire. I mean, it's not only a toyetic attire in itself, but I am so glad that they put this much effort into this figure because Xia deserves it and these women's basics deserve this much effort, care, and attention put into them. I love this figure. Alright, so here's the deal. I usually never cover articulation whenever I'm reviewing these women's basics because you kind of know what you're going to get. But here I'm going to do that because I think this figure's awesome and I was just trying to find an excuse to show y'all this figure up close even more, right? So let's see how the articulation is on this figure. I'm very curious because she's a very athletic, very skillfully trained superstar here. Okay, so looking at the head, she can look right, look left. She can look down and look up a decent amount. The shoulder is on a ball joint, can move in all different directions. She has a single hinged elbow, can flex about 90 degrees. The wrist can swivel. She has a waist swivel. The hip is on a ball joint here, but it has pretty good movement here. So she can almost do a split that way, and she can even kick decently here. I mean, for a women's basic, this has pretty good articulation. Now, the knee, it does not bend very well. These basics really don't bend well at the knees. The knee pad's kind of inhibiting that, so not too much articulation there. We have a boot swivel, and yeah, that's about it. So, I mean, it is basic articulation, but more importantly, this thing's awesome. I mean, I love this. All right, so just a quick reminder that I do have a separate scoring scale between my basics and my elite, so just keep that in mind. Now, that being said, I give WWE Basic Series 136 Xia Li an overall score of a 10.5 out of 10. This is the best women's basic that I have reviewed here in LumberJillville. Now, I'm not counting the older women's basics that used to have elite articulation. I'm talking about every women's basic that has been released since I started this channel about 2.5 years ago. Until now, this one is the best. It is my favorite. Now, I am a huge fan of Xia Li, and I have been since the NXT days. So, it's no surprise that I was going to be a fan of her figure. But this figure is tremendous. Not only did they really capture her likeness good, but the part choices are great. The body sculpt is awesome. And all the extra effort and attention to detail that they gave this figure truly gives me hope for women's wrestling basics in the future. Because sometimes the women's basics have little to no effort put into them, and it's a huge letdown. But here it gives me hope that they might be on the right track of releasing some pretty freaking fantastic women's basics, and that's what they deserve. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For a first look at all future women's wrestling figures, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Also, head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use coupon code LJV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Now, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. There's going to be a lot of future videos coming out. If you're watching it at the time of the release day, I'm actually doing a watch-along party for Halloween Havoc. So I hope to see y'all there. I'll be in costume. There's going to be prizes, trivia. It's going to be a lot of fun. So either way, thanks for watching and have a great night, y'all.